Yes, Mr. Uman.
Brigadier, is it correct that there were some investigations that were done in relation to the measurements, that is the height, the elbow and the shoulder level of the accused person, that is accused number 1 to 4 in this court, before court, yes?
Yes, by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, my lord.
Kuyiqiniseke ukuthi le ufana ama-measurements noma uqala okwenziwa uyena ku-Lieutenant Colonel Mangena.
Who requested such investigations?
It was me, my lord.
Mina-ke owacela ukuthi kwenziwe lokho.
And it was in conjunction with him in trying to establish. I'm not so sure how who would have initiated it first, my lord, but at the end there was common understanding that the accused perhaps could be measured to see if he can bring them closer to the shooter, but that exercise was fruitless, my lord.
Angisakhumbuli ukuthi phakathi kwami naye ubani-ke owaqala-ke leyo nkulumo leyo, kodwa-ke egcineni savumelana-ke ukubheka-ke wayezama ukuthi abheke-ke noma abone-ke ukuthi-ke ubani angathi amsondezeke eduze nalowo owadubula, kodwa-ke akunamiphumela-ke eyatholakala lapho.
So, if you say that exercise was fruitless, you mean that the accused person from whom such measurements were conducted, he could not be placed at the crime scene?
No, I don't mean that.
What do you mean?
No, I don't mean that. What I mean is, at the end of the day, my lord, he said to me, he is unable to say with definition, definitely to say accused 1, for example, fits the profile of the shooter, or even accused 3 to say in terms of his measurement, he fits the profile of the shooter or not. And he explained that in my recollection in terms of the hand, moving up and down. But he's more equipped, my lord, to explain. But all I'm saying is that at the end of the measurement, he wasn't able to say to me, I can include or exclude any of the accused as the shooters.
Abakusho-ke ukuthi asithi mhlambe-ke athi umsola woqala-ke ukuthi-ke kulokho engikwenzile-ke angikwazanga ukuthi ngisho noma ngitholeke ukuthi ngawuyena-ke udubulile mhlambe-ke sithi umsola wesithathu uchazile-ke ukhuluma-ke ngezandla-ke nangendlela-ke yama-movements, kodwa yena-ke uyena umuntu ongakusho ngcono lokho, kodwa-ke egcineni washo ukuthi-ke akatholanga-ke imiphumela kulokho ayekwenza.
The same conclusion was reached in respect of my client, Mr. Mapis.
Well, it was reaching all of them, my lord, 1 to 4, my lord. Those were the accused who were measured.
Kubona bonke-ke wathola-ke noma washo lokho-ke u-1 kuyofica-ke ku-4 bonke-ke babekaliwe.
On the 20th of July 2020, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, he proceeds to Cleveland Police Station, where he booked out the exhibit, that is a firearm, which was booked in SAP 13.
Yes, I'm aware he did that, my lord.
Yebo ngiyazi ukuthi-ke ngazo i-20 zikaJuly 2020 uLieutenant Colonel Mangena wahamba waya eCleveland Police Station ila ayokhipha khona-ke amazibiti kwakhona nesibhamu phakathi.
Did he tell you that he was going there on the 20th of July 2020?
Yes, he told me, my lord.
Yebo wangitshela ukuthi-ke uya khona lapho ngazo i-20 July 2020.
Where were you on that day? Can you remember?
No, I can't remember, my lord. But what I know is I was not with him when he went to book out the firearm.
Angisakhumbula ukuthi ngangikuphi ngalelo langa, kodwa nje ngikwazi ukuthi ngangekho naye nkathi-ke eyokhipha isibhamu leso.
Do you know why he had to book it out on the 20th of July 2020?
For examination, my lord, because analysis at that stage, accused 3 had been identified, Cleveland case had been identified, and furthermore, he had already, through my request, done the examination of comparing the exhibits of this Cleveland case in relation to this case, my lord. And I recall him, and there's a report and affidavit that he gave me, which said he is not finding sufficient marks, so he needs the firearm. And that is how he ended up now going to Cleveland to recover the firearm with the purpose of doing further examination, my lord.
Kwakuhlola-ke lapho-ke noma kusihlola-ke sona-ke isibhamu ngoba ngiyakhumbula-ke ngoba-ke kwakusekuhloliwe-ke ubufakazi-ke mayelana necala lelo lase-Cleveland kanye-ke naleli nobufakazi-ke kuleli icala, kodwa washo-ke ukuthi-ke akatholanga ama-marks anele, yingakho-ke wayedinga isibhamu-ke manje. Ngiyazi-ke khona nombiko noma-ke istatement asenza-ke mayelana nalokho, washo-ke ukuthi manje udinga isibhamu uqobo ukuthi-ke asebenze ngaso.
So, Brigadier, Lieutenant Colonel Mangena did not request you to go to Cleveland Police Station to book out this firearm. He did it out of his own frolic.
No. He was requested by me.
Okay.
Yes, we spoke about it, my lord, but there was an understanding that he will be the one going to pick up the firearm. So that was the understanding that we reached.
Yes, wakhuluma-ke nami mina-ke wamcela ukuthi aye lapho emuva kokuthi sikhulumile-ke safika-ke kuleso sivumelano ukuthi abe uyena oye Cleveland ayolanda isibhamu leso.
Is there anything, Brigadier, that made you not to go there, to go and book it out and take it to the ballistic unit of the...
No, there was nothing, but there was also nothing wrong in my view, my lord, for Colonel Mangena to book it out himself. It was simply an exercise of limiting many hands so that the chain of evidence is limited, my lord, because I knew what we're dealing with.
Kwakungekho-ke noma kuyasikho-ke isizathu sesibangela ukuthi mina-ke ngingayi, kwakungekho-ke futhi-ke nokungalungileke ngokuthi yena aye uKenneth Mangena ayosithatha isibhamu khona lapho-ke eCleveland, esasigwema-ke ukuthi-ke kume nezandla ey'ningi-ke lapho ngokuhamba noma-ke ngokusethathwa kwaso isibhamu, ngoba siyazi-ke ukuthi sasidila ngani noma sasebenza ngani la.
At the ballistic section of the Forensic Science Laboratory, did anyone knew on the 28th of July 2020 that that firearm was there? Do you know or you don't know?
No, but I don't know, my lord. Well, if you say anyone, Kenneth Mangena worked for the ballistic section, so he knew. If the question is anyone, he is one of the person that I spoke to, and he knew that he was taking that firearm there.
Uma uthi-ke lapha kuma-ballistic ukhona owayazi ukuthi isibhamu lesi sasilapho, uKenneth Mangena usebenza khona-ke lapho-ke, so wayazi-ke ukuthi isibhamu silapho.
Except him.
No, then, my lord, I think he's in a better position than to explain it, or someone from that side. I wouldn't know, my lord.
Yena-ke uyena ongachaza-ke uma uthi ngaphandle kwakhe-ke uyena ongachaza ngcono, noma-ke omunye umuntu osebenza khona lapho, mina ngeke ngazi.
Did he tell you that he had completed his investigation, the test on this firearm?
Yes, when he was able to link it, definite, my lord, he did tell me that he has linked it, he has concluded his investigation, and that he'll be taking now the exhibit back to Cleveland. I think it was the 27th of July, 2020, and that is the day where now, because I knew he had completed his investigation, that then I said I would meet him there in order to receive, after the processing has been done, this firearm as an exhibit in this matter, my lord.
Ingabe wakutshela-ke uma eseqedile ngophenyo lwakhe? Yebo, wangitshela-ke kwakungazo i-27 July 2020 uma esho ukuthi usiqedile-ke futhi-ke utholile-ke ukuthi impela-ke leso sibhamu leso-ke uyasihlanganisa-ke nezibithi elatholakala-ke noma necala leli-ke ila esavumelana khona noma ngasho khona-ke kuyena ukuthi sizohlangana khona lapho.
Did he tell you when he had finalized his investigations?
Yes, he told me, my lord. This is what I'm saying, or just said now, that he informed me, and then he informed me that because he's done, he will then be taking the exhibit back to Cleveland police station, and that is why I asked him to meet him there, and indeed I met him on that day, my lord.
Ila kanqeda ukusho-ke manje ukuthi yebo wangitshela ukuthi useqedile ngophenyo lwakhe, ngasho washo-ke nokuthi isibhamu sizosibuyisela khona-ke eCleveland, ngasho ukuthi asihlangane khona lapho eCleveland police station.
I mean the dates, Brigadier. Did he tell you the date when he had finalized his investigation?
No.
He did not?
No, my lord. It was the communication is I am done. So that's why I'm saying the sequence of events, my lord. First, there's a request for me, by me to him, to say we have now identified accused 3 under this case number, this is Cleveland. Please compare these exhibits under Cleveland with our matter, because it's a person of interest. That part is done. He gets back to me and say, I found insufficient markings. I need the firearm, to actually do further test. Then the Cleveland part of him going there then kicks in. When he is done, he didn't say I've completed this thing 1 hour, 2 hours ago. That's not how the communication said. He said I've concluded my investigation. There is a positive match, and obviously we discussed the issue of me getting the ballistic report. And then in that discussion, he then said I will be taking the firearm to Cleveland because he was done with the exercise. And that's when I said to him I'll meet him at Cleveland police station, my lord.
Ukwenzeka-ke kwezinto ukuthi-ke manje esetholakele-ke noma-ke usekhona-ke umsolo wesithathu kuyicala-ke manje kwacelwa-ke ukuthi aqhathaniswe ubufakazi loba becala lase-Cleveland kanye nalokho okutholakele kuleli icala. Ilapho-ke manje khona-ke wakwenza-ke lokho washo ukuthi cha, angitholi-ke okwanele noma ama-marks anele, ngidinga-ke isibhamu. Ilapho-ke manje kuvela khona-ke udaba lokuthi akaye eCleveland ayothola-ke isibhamu lapho. Emuva kwalokho useyasho ukuthi ngitholile-ke okwanele, ngiyakwazi ukuthi-ke manje ngihlanganise lesibhamu nabo ubufakazi lobu obatholakala kuleli icala. Emuva kwalokho asho ukuthi sengiqedile ngophenyo, ila esivumelana isibhamu lisibuyisele eCleveland, ila esivumelana khona-ke ukuthi asihlangane khona eCleveland uma ebuyisela isibhamu.
There's a statement which was sent at the end as exhibit L2 of the record. It's A6 in the docket.
A6.
A6.
Statement of Silepe. Constable Silepe.
It's a statement by Abe Sefularo Motweli.
Yeah, I do recall the statement of Mutwede, my lord. Perhaps we can get to it, so not maybe to waste time. I'll find it for time being, my lord.
Is it correct, Brigadier, that you told the court that you have been in charge of this investigation since 2018?
Yes, 2018, the 12th of November, my lord. That's correct.
Yebo ngishilo ukuthi kusukela nge-12 November 2018 kuyimina ophenya icala leli.
The statement by this person reads as follows. I'm a warrant officer stationed at Provincial Investigation Unit. Maybe before I proceed, Brigadier, do you know this person, this warrant officer?
No, my lord. I think you will see that in that statement it was made before my time. That's why it's even the English is right at the beginning. So I do not know this. But I do know there was a consultation with this warrant officer with the state. But I do not know him. If the question if I know him in person, I do not know him. And when this affidavit was disposed, it was before my time. It's the first investigation team.
Warrant officer lona umuntu wedike angimazi kodwa ngiyazi ke ukuthi ke waconsulta ke nombuso kodwa ke istatement lesisenziwa ke ngaphambi kokuthi mina ke ngiphenye icala leli.
He says the following at paragraph 3 of the affidavit. On 2014-10-27 at about 9, I visited a crime scene at house number 13511, First Loras.
Yes, I've got it, my lord. You can carry on. I see that.
Paragraph 4. The incident of the shooting happened on 2014-10-26, but I visited the scene on 2014-10-27 at 9. When I arrived at the scene, were Ballistic expert Captain Mangena and a photographer, warrant officer Mhlahlo, who took scene photos. Captain Mangena took exhibit of the spent cartridge that was found on the door frame. No one tampered with the scene while I was there. Photos and exhibits were taken in my presence. That is all I wish to state. The statement is signed by the deponent and it is commissioned by Sibonelo Mkhize at number 2C Botha Avenue, First Loras. So, Brigadier, you said you don't know this warrant officer.
No, I said I do not know him.
Yebo ngishilo ukuthi angimazi lo warrant officer.
In other words, I never worked with him, but I'm aware of his statement and the consultation. That is how far, if we talk about knowledge. But other than that, I do not know him as a person. I never worked with him, my lord.
Angazi ngisebenze naye ngiyazi ukuthi une statement asenza nombuso wakhuluma naye noma ke uconsulta naye kodwa uma uthi ke angimazi ukusho ngokusebenza ngazi ngisebenze naye.
When you are doing your analysis of the investigations, did you go through this affidavit?
Yes, I went through it, my lord, and there was no basis of what is contained in the affidavit.
Yebo ke istatement lesi ngasifunda ke kodwa ke ukuthi lokhu ke okushiwo ke lana ukuthi ke kubuya kuphike noma ke okuphathekayo ke mayelana nalokho okubhaliwe la.
What do you mean, Brigadier, if you say there was no basis in what was contained in the affidavit?
Firstly, because it was refuted by Colonel Mangena when I consulted with him.
Okokuqala ke uma ngisho kanjalo ke ngoba ke uma ngikhuluma naye uKenel Mangena mayelana nalokho wakuphika ke lokho.
Secondly, my lord, and I'm saying this is based on the general knowledge that I have. When you discharge a firearm, the bullet goes in front. In other words, to the direction you're pointing the firearm. The projectile will either go out on the left or right hand side of the barrel, of the firearm. Now, how do you find a cartridge in the same position in which the bullet is going to? It's impossible. It's not practical. Even if you watch these things on the TV, you'll see that the firearm will discharge cartridges either on the left or right hand side, depending on the firearm. Then the projectile itself, the one that is now discharged, that is hitting the target, will go then to where the firearm is pointed. And you are then likely to find the projectile where it was aimed if it doesn't go through. But I've never seen in my investigation experience where you find the projectile as well as the cartridges in the same direction. You will find the projectile in the body, for example, if it was intended to hit the deceased, and cartridges will always be picked up by crime scene managers and take photos on the crime scene on the floor, not on the place where the projectile or the bullet was aimed. I've never seen that, my lord. I've seen crime scene photos, even on this case. If you look at the crime scene photos, you look at the projectile found on top of the cabinet in the kitchen, the damaged one that was on the floor. I've never seen one in my whole career where you find a bullet point sitting with the cartridge, with the projectile. In other words, it was aimed there, it shoots, it hits the target, be it the door or whatever, and then the cartridge, because the cartridge, it's a spent, is the back part of the bullet, also going to the same direction. I've never seen that, my lord.
Angazeke mina ke iminyaka ngikhona ke emaphoyiseni noma isipiloni nginaso ke ngibone ke igobolondo kanye nayo ke inhlamvu ziyahamba ke uhlangothi olodwa uma kuukuthi ke inhlamvu iya ngale bese nalo ke igobolondo noma icartridge iye kulolo hlangothi lolo inhlamvu eya ngakulona ke inhlamvu izoya ke la ikhonjwe khona noma ke isibhamu sikhombe khona bese kuthi icartridge noma igobolondo lona ke noma lizophumela ke kuhlangothi la ngaku right noma ke ku left kodwa hayi ukuthi zizohamba uhlangothi olodwa angikaze lokho ngikubona noma ngihlangane nawo.
Did you interview him at any stage?
He was interviewed, my lord, during the consultation with the state. That's the part I've said, that it was during the consultation with the state. That's how far it went, my lord.
Ngishilo ke ngathi yebo kwakhulunywa ke naye inkathi waye consulta noma ke ekhulumisana nombuso.
Brigadier, did you, as the investigation officer, interview this person?
But for what purpose, my lord? I don't understand the purpose of interviewing him. There is an affidavit, it disposed it, it's in the statement. You follow that investigation, then the ballistic expert, someone who's qualified, refute it because his name is mentioned. then there's a consultation. So I'm not so sure what would have been the purpose of me interviewing him, because it is clear what he's saying is contained in his statement. Then there was a consultation with him subsequent to that.
Uma ubuza ke ukuthi ke ngaba mina ngam-interviewa yini ngakuzothi ke lokho ke ngikwenzelani ke ngoba ke kune-statement asenza futhi ke kunegama lana ke lakhe ke uKhenya Mangena ngakhuluma ke noKhenya Mangena uKhenya Mangena ke waphika ke lokho futhi ke nombuso nawo wakonsulta naye manje bengizothi uma ngikhuluma naye ke ngikwenzela yiphi inhloso lokho.
To get clarity on the contents of the statement.
My lord, the statement.
Additional statement from him.
No. You see, that's my lord. That's why I said the purpose of investigation is not to create your own evidence. The statement speaks for itself. It is not for me to change it, because on what basis do I say now he must change what he alleges that he saw? I'm not an expert. I was not there. I'm simply indicating the supporting evidence that I could have found. If there was supporting evidence based on my experience, investigation, and the expertise of the ballistic expert, of course, then I would have supported him. But I said I found no basis because it didn't make logical sense. But it is not for me now to change what he has said, because that would be the distortion of the truth.
Okwami ke bengitshela ukuthi uPhenya akusiyona ke noma ke inhloso yokuphenya ayisikona ukuthi ke ushintsheke ngoba ke istatement sakhe naso sibhaliwe akukho kumina ke ukuthi manje ngithi ke na ke noma ngiye kuyena ashintshe lokho kubhalile ke lokho athi yena ke wakhona ke ngathola ke mina ukuthi nje into ayibhalile ke ayizwakali ke ngase ngikhuluma ke nalo ongoti noma ke iballistic expert.
The consultation between this person and the state, you know when that consultation took place?
No, I don't recall the date.
Don't recall.
No, I don't recall the date, but it did happen.
Angikhumbule ke i-date ngathi wayiconsulta ke nombuso kodwa ngiyazi ukuthi kwenzeke.
There is another exhibit, Brigadier. It's exhibit LL4 of the record. It is a request for comparison. Sorry, it's a request for IB's comparison. It was addressed to Captain Makula of the Forensic Laboratory, South African Police Service, Pretoria, from Major Bayat on the 23rd of February 2015.
I'm aware of
We are aware of that.
I'm aware, yes.
Okay,
It's under
okay.
Cleveland case. It was
All right.
made under Cleveland case 96 of 2015. I think that's what you are referring to.
Yes.
And Alexander case, yes, I'm aware of that.
Leso sicelo kembuza ngathi ngiyasazi ke ngokuba nge-23 kaFebruary 2015 senziwa ke ngaphansi kwalelo lase-Cleveland 296 of 2015 kanye nale lase-Alexander.
Briefly, the contents of this request reads as follows. Hereby application for IB's comparison of the firearm recovered as per Cleveland case 96 of 2015, and with the following cases. Tsakane case 205 of 12 2014, Foslorus case 636 of 10 2014, Foslorus case 176 of 9 2014, Foslorus case 65 of 11 2013, Foslorus case 103 of 12 2014, Actonville case 102 of 2 2014, Actonville case 108 of 2 2014, Tsakane case 518 of 3 2014, Foslorus case 129 of 5 2014, Foslorus case 331 of 3 2012. To kindly analyze the request and identify all the incidents where this firearm mentioned above was used. 3. Kindly forward the information to Detective Constable Dlamini of Provincial Investigation Unit. It is signed by Major Bayat on the 23rd of February 2015. So, Brigadier, is there any report that you received or that was received in respect of this request? Because it also involves the case that you are dealing with in this court, Foslorus case 636 of 10 2014, in which you are the lead investigator.
Yes, so my lord, firstly, before we go to the report, so maybe let me just deal with the report. There's no report. When I inherited the docket, there is no report that talks to this insofar as the outcome of this request in the docket. That's the first part. The second part, Constable Dlamini, and I've said this before, my lord, at no stage, if you look at the history of this docket, was he the investigating officer or assigned to look into this matter before court. There were different investigators in this matter, but he was never at any stage part of this investigation team. And the investigation team, insofar as they are concerned around this period, the docket indicates that they were not aware or the suspicion that even this firearm may have been involved. So one then has to wonder why people are not relevant in this matter are making inquiries, and the investigators who are involved are actually not aware, not even making any comparison. Because if you look at 636, there is no such request, and that is docket 636, which was under investigation. They did not make a request. Even accused 3 was not on site. They were not aware of the firearm or even the suspicion that is involved. Hence, there's no request or even a ballistic report. Even this request, my lord, you will never find it in 636. It's attached in docket Cleveland 96 of 2015.
Okokuqala ke uma ke ukhuluma la kunalesi sicelo ke la ekwenziwa khona ke isicelo ukuthi ke aqhathaniswe ke isibhamu ke esitholakele kwicala lase Cleveland ucase 9602 2015 nalamacala ke ahlukahlukene ke achaziwe ke khona lana bewafunda ke advocate uNxumalo. Ngabe wawuthola yini umbiko ke mayelana naleli icala ngoba libhaliwe ke ngala la u63610 of 2014. Okokuqala ke angiqale umbiko awukho. Okwesibili ke uConstable uDlamini akakaze abe umphenyi noma umseshi ke walo leli icala eliphambi kwenkantolo njengamanje. Abaseshi ke noma abaphenyi ke abangaphambilini noma ke labo bephenya ngaphambi kwami ke akukho la abenza khona ke isicelo mayelana ke nalo mbiko noma ke ukuthi aqhathaniswe. Lokho ke manje kwenza ukuthi uyibuze ukuthi kungani ukuthi laba ekuyibona ababephenya icala leli bangasenzike lesicelo kodwa senziwe ke umuntu ongahlangene nalicela naleli cala engasiyena owayephenya icala leli. Manje ke awukho umbiko owatholakala ke noma ke i-report eshoyo ukuthi yathini imiphumela le eyacelwa ukuthi yenziwe la ebizwa ngokuthi i-IBIS isayindiwe lana ke uyena uMajor Bayate ngazo i-23 zika February 2015.
Did you, Brigadier, as a lead investigator in this case, consult with the members who were handling the Cleveland case in order to find out about whether there is such a report or not?
No, there isn't, my lord. So maybe let me deal with the first part. Yes, I consulted with the two members,
Yes.
Constable Dlamini and Masondo. But I've got the docket. Other than consulting with them, I've got the original docket of Cleveland. There is no outcome report, even in the docket itself, insofar as what they requested with regard to this matter 636. And I also consulted with Ballistic. I took it further, my lord, to say there is this request. What records do you have on your archives insofar as what was requested? And there was none. And they gave a technical explanation as to how their system works, my lord. And because this question arose even during the course of my investigation, when the firearm was now linked, to say this firearm was seized in 2015 under Cleveland case, it was brought to attention, and when it was at the ballistic section, why was it not picked up for the offense that occurred a year earlier, in other words, a couple of months before? And it was explained to me. I think Colonel Mangena is more equipped as to what difficulties they had. Hence, he needed the actual firearm to test the bullet that he fires in relation to the bullet that was found at the crime scene. Because in this matter, my lord, there were no cartridges that were found. So he had the testing had to be based on bullet to bullet, not on cartridges.
Lana ke yebo koqala angithi ke ngakhuluma ke nabo ama member ke lana amabili uyena ke uDlamini Masondo uDlamini naMasondo mayelana ke ekuyibona ke ababe phenya ke icala leli lase Cleveland nakulona ke idokotela lase Cleveland ngiliphethe nginalo awukho ke akho imiphumela ekhona ke yalesi sicelo lesi esenziwa ke sokuthi iqhathaniswe lana kuyona ke i-IBIS leta ngase ngiqhubeka ke manje ke ngisekelanga ke lapho ngaya ke kwi-section ye-ballistic noma laba asebenza khona ke ngeibhamu ngathi ke isibhamu lesi satholakala ngo-2015 kungani ke ukuthi ningabuyelanga emuva ke niyobheka ke kwisehlakalo esenzeka kwinyanga eyimbala nje edlulile noma ke kunyaka ondlule washo ke uKolonel Mangena ukuthi inkinga ahlangabezana nazo ngaleso sikhathi ingakho asho ke ukuthi ke wayefuna ke isibhamu uqobo azokwazi ukuthi aqhathanise sona ke kanye nenhlamvu leyo eyatholakala lapho kungasona ama-cartridge kodwa kube yinhlamvu ayiqhathanise naso ke isibhamu.
So in other words, my lord, what I'm saying, insofar as the matter that is before court, Phosphorus 636 of 10/2014, there is no report. There's none that was found, filed in the docket, both this Cleveland case and the Phosphorus case 636 in relation to this matter. Insofar as the matters that they were investigating, they found ballistic reports and matching and so forth and so forth. But in relation to this specific matter before court, there's no outcome of the analysis done, my lord.
Ngokumayelana naleli cala ke eliphambi kwenkantolo ke akukho ke okwatholakala ke noma ke umbiko mayelana nalokho okwatholakala ke amanye amacala abawaphenya ke wona ke khona ke abakuthola kodwa mayelana naleli cala akukho okwatholakala noma ke umbiko osho ukuthi khona okwatholakala.
Exhibit J is an affidavit by Warrant Officer Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp. Did you have sight of this affidavit? Did you go through it? Did you read it?
Not only did I read it, my lord, we went through the same exercise with Advocate Nisi the last time. I don't even want to go far insofar as Mr. Ramsipili. The last time we dealt with this exhibit, it was when I was under cross-examination by Advocate Nisi.
Umbiko lona ke exhibit yokhuluma ngayo wakhe ke Dr. Steenkamp nangenkathi kakhona umbuzo uyena ke Advocate Nisi kanye naye ke Mr. Ramsipili.
Insofar as your investigations, maybe before I go there, did you interview these witnesses?
But which witnesses, my lord?
The witnesses that are contained in Exhibit J.
My lord, I think I dealt with that explanation.
You can repeat it, Brigadier. I'm the one who's cross-examining now.
Yes.
I want to understand.
Yes, I dealt with it, my lord, so I'm going to repeat it.
Yes.
That the people we dealt with have indicated it was Ms. Randi Kumalo, Mthokozi Sitwala, Madlala, the mother, and I've indicated, and then I indicated as to why we could not interview Ms. UNxumalo, my lord. Makaleni has passed on, my lord, so he could not be interviewed, my lord.
Ngishilo ukuthi ngokumalana ke nawo ke lo mbiko lona noma ke istatement lesi sakhe wallet officer Steenkamp abantu ke ngakhulumisana nabo uzali uNxumalo uma wakhe uTumelo Madlala umthokozisi uthwala ngishilo ke nezathu ukuthi kungani ke singazange sikhulume naye ke uMs UNxumalo.
And there was
uMakeleni batholakala ukuthi ke nake washona.
And there was also a consultation with the state with these witnesses, my lord.
Kanye nombuso nawo ke futhi wakhuluma ke nomaphethelezi ke waconsulta nalabo fakazi.
There is also the sixth witness called Sipiwe.
Yeah, but if you look at the sixth witness, my lord, I think if you look at the last part, he is really not assisting with identification. That was my understanding. But I do know that there is a sixth witness. But at my understanding, I don't think assisted with any form of drawing the identikit.
Yebo khona ke owesithupha ke ufakazi kodwa ke ngokwazi kwami ke akukho la asiza noma alekelela khona ke ngokuthi ke kudwetshwe noma yona ke identikit.
How did these witnesses meet? Captain Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp. Do you know?
No, my lord, it was before my time. I can only refer to what is contained in the docket. I was not part of that arrangement.
Ukuthi ke ufakazi laba bahlangana kanjani nayo bana officer Steenkamp lokho kwenzeka ngaphambi kwesikhathi sami mina ngakhuluma nje phela ngaloko okubidokotela.
In terms of your investigations, what is the description of the motor vehicle that was used as a getaway car?
It's a VW Polo.
Ngokophenyo lwami ke imoto eyasetshenziswa ke kwakuyi VW Polo.
Do you know the registration number of that vehicle, which was used as a getaway car? You don't know?
No, there was no registration number given, my lord. The closest thing that one could work on is that there's an indication in the statement of Sifiso Zungu Kwabeni that it could have been a hired vehicle. And the closest car or hiring company that we could get, which indeed places accused 5, in the hiring of the vehicle, but not on the date of the incident, but in the around, I'm not so sure how many years apart or months apart, but it's not on the day of the incident, that he was hiring cars from a certain company, and at some stage he was even given fines hiring or utilizing a VW Polo vehicle, my lord.
Uma ukhuluma ke nge-registration ayikho ke esayinikezwa ke futhi ke ngokukhulumisana naye ke uGwabeni uSifiso Zungu ke ukhulumile ke ngokuthi ke okungenzeka kwangaba ke imoto ke ehayariwe ke ngoba ke nalapho futhi ke nenkampani sasesibheka inkampani la khona ke umsolo wesihlanu awaye thatha khona ke noma ke ehayara imoto khona futhi ke kunyaka noma ke izinyanga nje ngaphambi kwesehlakalo futhi ke basho nokuthi ke noma basho nokuthi ke khona ke la athola khona ke ifine ehayara yona ke noma ke ethathe yona ke imoto ye-VW.
The hired car?
Yes, the hired car. I'm talking about the hired car, my lord. What we could not find is the records of this date of the incident as to what the record says, because the company became liquidated. So one was now, speaking or trying to recover files in a company that was non-existent. So we could not get records of the date of this incident, except to say, indeed, he was hiring cars on regular, in certain times through this company, and also through the investigation with the traffic department, he was picked up driving one of these vehicles when he was fined. So that was part of that exercise, my lord, in trying to find a vehicle that may have been used on the date of the commission of this offense.